We are live.
Alrighty. Hello, folks, and welcome back to another episode of the 406 Podcast, episode 30 now. Well, shit, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and follow, and we will be right back.
Montana vibes under the big sky. 406 Podcast gonna get you high. Adam and Tanaki and Nate bringing the heat, no time to wait. From the mountains to the plains, let's fucking up, break your chains. Every topic, every strain in this cannabis domain. 406 Podcast, let's celebrate. Rolling up, it's time to celebrate. Adam and Tanaki and Nate in Montana, we dominate. From the soul of the villas, we're on the map. Lighting up the scene, ain't no cap. Hip-hop beats in the background as we drop knowledge profound. From CBD to THC, we're breaking down the chemistry in this podcast symphony. Come join our THC family.
Welcome back, everybody. We got Dalton here from Ascheman Insurance Company. We're going to go over some cool stuff in the industry right now. We've got our normal Nate and Tanaki, Daniel and Michelle behind the cameras back there.
Woo, woo.
Daniel's torso.
I'm stretched today.
Yeah, that camera angle is for me standing instead of sitting, so just keep that in mind, guys. We've got some fun stuff for you guys this evening. What do you guys got?
She's like, I don't know what it is, but we got it.
We
got all
Trade
that
of the
fun
Week.
stuff.
We've got Stoner Trivia. We've got news with Nate. Got it, all the normals.
Yeah,
All
we
the
were supposed to
goodies.
have cocktail confessions. We're gonna have to push that
Yes.
back next week. The girls at the 406, they got a busy night tonight. Got everything to prepare for the Cat Grizz game tomorrow.
Yeah,
So we're gonna push that back one more day.
it is a weekend.
So yeah,
That's fine with me though.
then we also got some good shit talking about the Cat Grizz game, of course.
Well, hell yeah. I don't watch
have anything to
sports.
say.
Yeah, either one side of Montana or the other side of Montana is going to be crying tomorrow. And the other side is going to be celebrating, and both sides will be drinking heavily, so it really
Yes.
don't matter.
Yeah, that's the real truth right there.
Mhm.
Nothing better.
Yeah.
That's all I go to any games for. All the drinking. Tailgating.
It's all about the social.
Yes,
I've actually never been to any of them.
really.
You've never been to a Cats Grizz game or any
Never.
tailgating parties or anything like that?
Not once.
What about a baseball game or something?
No, I'm not a big sports guy. So
Oh man,
I've been to like one or two Mustangs games because
Okay.
it was just like something to do with the buddies. But
yeah,
Yeah.
that's always a good time. Mustangs are a baseball team in Billings, Montana. For those of us outside of the state, and support your local baseball teams. You'd be shocked how good those local baseball players are.
Yeah, so
They're fun.
the Billings Mustangs is a farm team for the Cincinnati Reds, and they play the farm league up here, play against a lot of people that are pretty, like I think the Toronto Blue Jays has a farm team that they play against and a couple
Oh.
other things. So
Oh, that's cool. I
yeah,
didn't know that.
yeah, neither did I.
I'm also not a sports person.
no, but
whatsoever.
I will say if you ever get a chance and an opportunity to get to the Cat Grizz game, it's called the Brawl of the Wild. It's one of the oldest sports rivalries that is out there. Been going since like 19 something.
Well, I know
Uh,
I have a ton of buddies that go up there and just that like they live for those weekends.
Yeah,
So I mean, I guess I just have to experience it once to see what it's about. But
regardless if you don't like sports, just the people watching alone. I mean,
I'm
there's
sure
some
it's-
wonderful
I'm
people
sure
watching.
it's a crazy time.
Oh yeah, people get all in on this shit. It's insane.
1897.
1897. So yeah, when did Montana become a state? Like, what was it? 1885.
Holy cow,
We
dude!
became a state, and so like
There's nothing
know.
else to do.
12 years,
12 years later, they're like, "The hell with it! Let's start playing football, boys."
Well, and it was really like a big deal. Like they would do the old school, like break into your campus, steal the trophy, blah blah,
And then
blah.
shoot you in the street probably too.
Go over the field, all
Montana
of
was
those
kind of the
histories,
Wild
you know,
West.
it was
Yeah.
pretty bad. Yeah.
Sheesh.
Ripping up field goal poles, all kinds of stuff.
To be in those
Classic
days again,
hijinks.
when that was actually funny.
Yeah.
That was before they had the internet.
Yep.
They were really bored.
Well, I guess we should jump right in with our guest here, Dalton, from the insurance Ascheman Insurance Agency, specializing in cannabis insurance, amongst other things there.
So yeah, well, I myself in the agency are mostly just cannabis,
Okay.
and it's focused on anybody that has their foot in the cannabis industry, from dispensaries, test labs, manufacturers, cultivators, transporters. I mean, you name it, I can get you covered, or try to get you covered for it.
Nice.
So
And even as we learned before the show, potentially some home grow operations.
yeah. So you guys asked me about that. So
Daniel asked.
yeah, so it's kind of a tricky area, but I've learned that as long as the grow is not actually in the residence itself and it's separated in a separate building and it's like 200 feet away, I think, I can insure it as a cannabis policy.
That's pretty sick.
But
That's cool.
It
And that would be like crop insurance,
Yeah.
comparable to a crop
Yep.
insurance.
yeah, it would just be a stated value policy, kind of just like your business personal property type stuff.
It's kind of insane
That's
just
cool.
how much stuff you can get insured out there these days. But
Oh yeah.
yeah,
And it just takes somebody that knows that it's there,
Yeah.
you know.
How
It's
to find it.
yeah.
That's been a big challenge. I know, just in full disclosure, we were able to insure our cannabis businesses under your company here recently. And we appreciate everything you guys were able to do for us there. But finding a insurance company that has an underwriter. I know a lot of people want to get into the game. They want to do stuff, but their underwriting capabilities just doesn't allow them to do it.
Yeah, and kind of like I was saying, a lot of that is just because it's so corporate type, So, like places like Farmers, Progressive, your mainstream insurance carriers won't take that risk on.
Yeah.
And even some of the big names will, but they're really kind of stingy. I think we talked about it before. Is they won't take on any customer that has a small business under like $1 million or something.
Right.
Stupid number like that. And so it's really nice to be able to have my foot in the door to find those markets, because there is plenty of carriers out there, but yeah, trying to find someone that will take on that risk was pretty hard for a long time. But now that I actually am a preferred agency now as of like a week and a half ago, which I'm pretty excited about, through one of our brokerages. So, it's nice to have a national brokerage that has an underwriting team that is more than happy to write me policies for people. Nice. So, yeah. And for us, it was kind of hard to find resources as well in the beginning, because it was like there's no handbook on it.
right.
It's like you go to Farmers and you get licensed, and they give you an auto policy handbook, they give you a home handbook, how to get leads, how to say it, how to run it. And when we started this, it was like there's no example to go off of.
Sure.
So it's been kind of exciting that in that sense too, to find our own way through it.
So you guys are pretty much blazing an insurance trail as well.
I mean, I sometimes I'd like to think so, but then I try to humble myself and just say, just because I don't know anybody else out there.
Sure.
We sent I know a few, but doesn't mean that there's not somebody bigger and somebody that is out there just as much as I am. But it's also that same thought that keeps me, at the office and traveling around the state to different dispensaries to try to maintain that ability to be the trailblazer.
Definitely.
So,
well, you might want to keep yourself humble, but I'll say it. I think you're definitely a trailblazer in this industry. That's the whole theme of this episode, is overcoming the impossible, one industry at a time. So keep up the good work, man.
I appreciate that. It's been I can't really say it's been a long road. It's felt like a super long road, but it's just mainly just been persistence and just constant education.
Yeah.
I didn't want to be that insurance agent that just sat at the phone waiting for phone calls.
You were the one making the phone call.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
I'm knocking on your door at night,
Yeah.
right after I'm following the Jehovah's around.
I was wondering how you got in the studio.
He knocked. Nice.
We're gonna show his video.
Yeah, let's definitely
I want to
jump
see
over
this.
to that.
Let's go ahead and get into that.
In Billingstown, where dreams grow wild, Ascheman Agency makes you smile. Tailored coverage fits just right. Protect your business day and night. Ascheman Agency, standing tall for every step and every call. Cannabis dreams, they've got your back. With Ascheman, you're on the right track. Feel secure with every plan. Ascheman's team, they understand. Cannabis care that's built for you. With Ascheman Agency, staying true.
All right, well, we're back, and that was a quick little commercial with the Ascheman Agency. We're back with Dalton here from the Ascheman Insurance Agency, talking about cannabis insurance and everything that goes on there, some of the ins, the outs, difficulties. Obviously, you've had a lot of difficulties finding underwriters. You got the underwriters here now. Tell me, what's the part of this business that you really like? I mean, is it meeting the business operators? Is it, checking out different operations? Like, what's your main drive?
Well, that I could answer in two separate questions. So the my favorite part about this is there's so much opportunity that not only for this agency to grow, but for kind of everybody that has a hand in it that's serious about it. And it's really cool to just meet different business owners, different perspectives of looking at things, different ways of running operations. And I really love not having a 9 to 5. I'll spend 16 hours, working, no problem doing this. But if you told me to go work at a 9 to 5 where I had to punch in, do the same thing every single day, I don't think I could do it. So that's a big plus of it.
Nice.
Not working for a corporate, company doing somebody else's work. But you asked me about the drive, and I'd say the drive to keep kind of pursuing this is just having a strong why, and like a strong personal why, not just like a business why.
Right.
But my desire to make this into, not only a business I can live off of and retire off of, obviously, but make it into something that people can rely on.
Yeah.
And being that resource for people when, a lot of the times they get turned away from people, just like insurance all the time. It's like you were saying, getting turned away. And so kind of being that little shining light for people is just always a good feeling. And, just my personal, my own personal stuff of wanting to succeed as well too. But I would say just having the strong why is the biggest drive.
Nice.
So
Very nice.
And I'm a huge believer in it too. I've been using medical cannabis for probably about 8 years now to treat my Crohn's, and it's always been my go-to medicine too. So
Yeah, and in fact, you have a tattoo to sort of memorialize something to do with that, right?
With my Crohn's disease, it's, I kind of lost out on a lot of opportunities that I really wanted in life. And so, after using cannabis for a while and kind of seeing that everything isn't always what just the doctors tell you it is, I got really sick, and then I really wanted to make something out of being sick that would benefit people. So I started chronically ill racing. So I race motorcycles to prove that diseases don't define us. And a big part of that is treating it with natural stuff like cannabis and showing people that that is an option. It's not just some witchcraft or some snake oil,
Right.
And
Totally.
yeah. And so, that's part of my why, is just to show others that, not only for personal stuff, but for the cannabis, there's so many options that you have, and to not let any of, diseases or illnesses kind of define your path of travel,
Definitely.
So, and it's nice to kind of combine my two favorite things into a daily life, into a daily routine, motorcycles and cannabis. Yeah, it's pretty cool doing that too.
I think you and our daughter would definitely agree.
Yeah. So a lot of perks to it, but a lot of hard work as well. A lot of hard work.
That's awesome that you really are sticking down to keeping with your why. I think a lot of us lose track of the why we do our daily grind
Yeah.
and just get stuck in the grind of it.
Yeah.
That's awesome. that you really-
It's really easy to do. Fortunately and unfortunately for me, the Crohn's disease has humbled me over and over why I should keep that mentality every day.
Yeah.
But for everybody, it's different for everybody. But I just kind of try to share my experiences and my tribulations through the medical world to help others see some type of hope. So.
That's awesome.
Speaking of helping others, just real quick, just wanted to mention that all of the content on our show is for educational purposes, and we are here for your entertainment and education only. Thank you very much. That's
Daniel reining us back in.
all. Sorry, I just was thinking about it. Like, hey, we should mention that.
It's always good.
So you were talking a little bit before the show about the big gathering over there, Fairmount Hot Springs, the MTCIA gathering.
Yeah, it was. I didn't mean to.
No, you're good. I was just going to ask you to give us some insights, but you were already doing it. So go ahead.
So it was just really interesting to learn kind of how the taxes are unstructured in this industry, and gave me a lot of insight on what kind of coverages would be beneficial to you guys, especially for like we were talking about, if some parent wanted to say that your product made their kid sick, and they could very well easily take you to court for that. And
Sure.
There's plenty of attorneys and lawyers that would be very happy to sue a dispensary. But having that product liability coverage in place is going to give you money to afford defense costs, to show that you maybe need to do a little more research instead of just blaming the pot shop at first. And so give me some, that would be important, for everybody that is in the industry, whether you're manufacturing or just a dispensary, because everybody down the line is going to get brought to court for that, from the label, the people that made the label, to the people that packaged it, to the transporter that transported it to your shop. It's
typically if you got a good law firm, they're going to try to go after anybody. Every
single person in that line is going to get brought up. So having that coverage is super important. Doesn't I wouldn't say it happens often here, but it's
a possibility.
It's always a
want it to
risk.
happen.
Yeah. And then it was just interesting to kind of find out what the benefits and what the cons would be to if it got rescheduled or decriminalized or legalized, and kind of how that would affect you guys. And it gave me some good insight on that too, to see what future coverages are going to maybe be required.
Yeah.
Because it could just turn around and say you guys are all required to have $1 million insurance policy for liability.
Well, I think you're probably going to get into some of the compulsory. If you look at any industry, including real estate and stuff like that, we got to carry E&O insurance, other type of insurance policies. I mean, the one thing that I will say is that the insurance companies were really good in taking over the role of Al Capone. But
yeah, for serious.
Honestly, you know, I look at a lot of these issues and stuff like that, but I think another opportunity for you guys might be in the fact that soon there's going to be mortgage-backed securities and stuff like that. There's going to be other products that are going to be, you know, insurance products that you may have to look at, because cannabis businesses and large cannabis businesses are going to be receiving financing. They're going to be receiving mortgages.
If safe banking, if we get access to safe banking, that's going to open up a whole other can of worms for people to navigate through. So
exactly right.
Yeah. So yeah, no, it was a great opportunity, and I was very blessed to be invited up there, and you know, it was Fairmont too, so got to hit the hot springs a little bit. It was nice on the back.
Definitely.
But I don't know if you guys, well, you guys probably don't know. I'll have to get the exact dates for you, but there's going to be the MTCIA is going to try to like rent out a rotunda at the Capitol for us to kind of show lawmakers and whatnot the difference of like black market stuff, and kind of just show how professional our industry is versus what kind of maybe people think it may be, just for some education.
Sure.
To when these lawmakers go up there, you know, and they walk past it, they can get formally educated. So kind of just like we were talking about earlier, people kind of having no idea what they're making laws for.
You know, as long as we don't get back into the situation where we have cannabis plants in the rotunda, I would, was around when we had the cannabis plants inside the rotunda. We were going to educate the, legislators.
Yeah.
Went totally the opposite direction. Everybody got upset. Nobody really liked the idea of it there. And so I hope that we take that into consideration as well. I mean, I think education is really, really good, and it's a really important factor. I think educating the lawmakers is extremely important as well.
Oh, 100%.
I'm just wondering what kind of backlash we're going to be looking at if we get into that aspect of like, hey, by the way.
They have a whole thing of their, like a whole committee that they're working on stuff on that end. But I just know that there's going to be, a chance for us to kind of really show how legitimate we are.
Sure.
And really give some good education to maybe kind of sway some decisions and maybe get some leniency on these taxes.
Yeah, I hope so. We've been talking with some people in the background, some legislative people, and I think that's one of the things that is lacking right now is communication with the lawmakers and stuff.
Yeah.
There isn't a lot of pushback as far as the taxes or anything else like that, but they're not just wanting to hear from, us in the industry. They're always going to, take us with a grain of salt. They want to hear from the citizens out there, from the actual Montana consumers and Montana voters that, look, we don't want to be paying 23% for anything in Montana.
Nobody wants to pay that. But I also think that the more this industry grows and gets people like more, insurance agency, there's more CPAs.
Oh yeah.
And all these other, auxiliary businesses that kind of play into it. The more of that comes into, I think, the more serious that they take us as well.
Oh, I agree 100%. When we first started out in the game, I mean, trying to find just an attorney who would represent a cannabis business was like pulling teeth. There were few and far between, and when the whole lawsuit got started to keep cannabis here, finding the Getz law firm, that was a really big blessing. But there was quite a few attorneys that we went through at the time. We had interviewed and talked to them, and they were like, nope, won't handle it. Has to do with cannabis. Won't handle it. Has to do with cannabis. Won't handle it.
Yeah.
And, so there were some really good people who were able to communicate with the Getz law firm, explain what all was going on there, that there was a lot of constitutional issues that we were after, that it wasn't just strictly about cannabis. And I think that was the deciding factor. But, now you have quite a few attorneys that you can choose from.
Yeah.
And not everybody's saying go away. Insurance as well. So
Yep.
it's a breath of fresh air to see all of the people actually embracing the cannabis businesses and starting to come into the fold.
And I love to see it too. I just, because, you know, with my Crohn's, I'm not a huge drinker, and, you know, we obviously all kind of know what the harmful effects of not only just drinking, but drinking and driving and all that stuff does.
Yeah.
So to see everyday people being able to have an option besides alcohol and to be able to kind of enjoy it a little more publicly without being scrutinized by everybody.
Yeah.
I think that's a really cool thing too.
Yeah, I can't wait until we have open consumption
Yeah.
like we do in bars and stuff like that. I mean,
I think that would be pretty cool. I mean, give us the same fair equal chance as the alcohol does.
I agree. You know, we had Ed Doctor on a couple weeks ago. He was with the Montana Retail Cannabis Association, I think it was.
Okay.
And Ed was actually one of the original members of the board of directors for the MTCIA. And you know, he has a bar up in Whitefish, has a cannabis dispensary inside of his bar as well.
I went to that when I went on my little
Okay.
my Western journey.
So yeah. So
No,
that would be Ed.
that was the cool. I thought that was crazy.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I'm walking in the front, I'm like, this is a bar. And then I see this little like DJ booth with some, you know, just set back in the corner all by itself.
Right.
All blocked off, and you had to go outside the back and then into it. I was like, that is something I've never expected to see in Montana, that's for sure.
Yeah, you know, so he's very proud of it, and you know, he's doing well up there. I long to see the day when that's just sort of an open thing to where you can walk in and either grab, you know, your cannabis pre-roll, go out on the patio, do whatever you want. You
Come back in, play some
back
pool.
in, play some pool.
Yeah.
Have a, you know, a cannabis drink or whatever, and just sort of enjoy your time. And I know that the Vibe Marketing and Events given a space like that for people to utilize and stuff.
Yeah.
But I think we just need a lot more of them across the state as well. You know.
Yeah.
A lot more normalized
Yeah.
too. I mean, shit, at those fucking politician sessions, what are they doing? Drinking. What would they probably have a better time doing? Smoking.
Absolutely right. Probably get a little less arguing done.
Yeah.
I mean, a little more philosophizing, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Speaking of-
Sessions might take a little longer.
It might just be a whole lot of talking. That's about it.
Well, they would have to have somebody control them, that's for sure. Well, speaking of which, we might want to get to some philosophizing and get to our strain of the week, huh?
Strain of the week. Some permanent marker. Do we want to throw on that video really quick?
Sure.
Permanent marker all up in the air, drawing lines that go everywhere. Life's a Candace jump if you dare. No eraser, baby, who needs repair? Oh, green haze fills up the midnight scene. Graffiti dreams on walls that gleam. Oh, pens and papers marking up the theme. Living loud on our own team.
Welcome back after that awesome video. Again, all of our videos we do in-house. All of them. Anyway, off of that self-plug. Permanent marker. So it's a modern cannabis strain. Won Leafly strain of the year last year. A lot of the reviews that I was reading said that it has a really amazing, well, at least the pheno that they got had a really amazing flavor. High in myrcene, limonene, caryophyllene, so gonna get you pepper sprayed. Feelings are tingly, relaxed, talkative. Snaki was just saying she hasn't had a talkative strain for a little while.
No, it's been a minute.
Yeah, we've been really relaxed for a while.
Yes.
Ammonia smelling. Gotta love it.
No, hard pass.
R. Kelly sheets.
Definitely not one for the smell, but all of the things that I was reading said good taste. So I don't know. Says it's got pungent flavor of soapy funk. With a hint of candy.
Gas.
Candy
Floral
gas.
Floral gas. Candied
Floral
gas.
Floral.
Sprinkled some sugar on
I think
top.
that's like methane, isn't it?
Yeah, that just sounds like the bad like Jelly Belly, dude. Like that
Floral
thing-
gas.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
sounds like that one mystery flavor that your
You
old
really don't
sibling
want.
gave you just
Right.
Just a fuck with
The ultimate vomit, frog vomit. Like,
No, gross. No
Yep.
thanks.
No.
Yep.
Permanent marker is one of those very popular strains. It's completely worldwide at this point. I've seen shops in Thailand stock permanent marker. It's known for its potency. I've seen it on the West Coast, the East Coast. So you'll find that strain all over the world at this point. I believe that is from Ethos Genetics. Throw me a bone here.
You don't even have a sheet back there.
I know.
Seed Junkie Genetics, JBZ.
Well, whoever came up with it did a good job. Every once in a while, you get one of those hit strains, and it goes worldwide. And permanent marker was one of them. So you all voted on it, and here we are.
Its children is Red Eye and Permanent Paradise.
What's it made out of?
Biscotti
Biscotti.
and Jealousy.
Biscotti. That's one of those gelato crosses.
so Biscotti, it's going to be Biscotti cross Sherb BX and then cross with Jealousy.
Mm.
So you've
So
got
it's
a
a-
couple crosses there.
Biscotti cross even.
Mm.
Mm.
Man, well, that's definitely an interesting strain for sure. One of those stinky ones, very divisive. Not everyone loves it.
It's that idea that it has a bit of a soapy flavor that sort of kicks it for me.
Yeah.
I spent too much time cussing as a kid. I really don't like that soap.
I was just gonna say a lot of
Didn't teach it much.
I've always thought
No.
that the strains that people think taste like soap are kind of like that cilantro thing, where half the people think it tastes
Yeah.
terrible, but half of people think it tastes like flowers.
Did you know that was an evolutionary trait?
No, what for?
Cavemen actually did. It's a freaking thing on your chromosomes. Like it's a part of your actual DNA, whether or not you like cilantro or not. And Neanderthals did not have that chromosome.
Oh, interesting.
Mhm.
Well,
So
thank
missing
goodness we
so-
had it.
so
chromosomes,
the-
though?
So the
DNA
Neanderthal, they
difference.
like the cilantro or don't like the cilantro? I'm trying to clarify here.
It tasted like soap to Neanderthals.
I guess I'm probably a Neanderthal then because it tastes
No,
like
we're the
cab soap.
correct humans.
The classic.
We ain't no Cro-Mag, damn it.
classic models.
Classic models. Yeah, that's right.
Oh, that's
You,
awesome.
you think cilantro tastes good?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Mutant.
Mutant. Calvin just says hybrid.
I mean, the only green leaf I really truly care for is the green leaf I put in my pipe. But
Mm.
Same. Yeah.
That's fair.
A little dried,
Sometimes I
Yes,
have
Y'all
those
just be
strains
so
that
proud.
sometimes I get a strain where the aftertaste tastes like that artificial hard crumbled bacon that you can put on your salad.
oh yeah,
Yep.
Yes.
You ever
Yes.
have
I know
that?
which one. Yes.
Yeah, it's weird. It trips me out every time. Like, why does this taste like this?
why does it taste like artificial smoke in
Oh,
my smoke?
yeah. What is this?
Somebody smoked my ribs with artificial
Yeah,
flavor.
liquid smoke.
liquid smoke in my smoke.
I've had a strain in Billings called candied bacon that was sort of like that, and I've noticed a lot of the burger strains like Donny Burger, Triple Burger,
Burgers and beers.
mhm.
I mean, that makes sense, but it was not anything close.
You're like, why does my blueberry taste like bacon? dude?"
Yeah, it's-
Shout out to Calvin real quick out there in the chat. What's up, buddy?
Yo, what's up, Calvin?
We've got a couple people.
Everybody out?
SMB still shop.
Mr. Burns, what's up, buddy? S&B still
Burns.
shots.
Hell yeah. Well, shoot.
We appreciate each and every one of you.
Yes, we do. What's everybody smoking on tonight? Enjoying this evening?
If you're not smoking the permanent marker, let us know in the chat what you got out there.
If you are smoking permanent marker, what does it taste like?
Does it taste like soap?
Everything I read said it tasted great.
Or does it taste like floral gas? Whatever that tastes like.
Funky
Floral
floral gas.
gas.
I mean,
Yeah.
funky floral gas.
And candy. Don't forget the candy. Sorry.
That's kinda
funky
like our
floral
funky
gas
chili.
sounds like it's against the Geneva Convention.
Sort of like the new
Floral.
mustard. It's like the civilized version of mustard gas.
Oh.
It's just the
No.
funky floral gas.
It
Makes
kinda
people
sounds
happy.
Like how you would describe like your grandma walking by, just that floral gas.
That's some funky floral gas.
Okay. one last real quick
Yeah.
funny. So I watched this video today of this dude. His grandma's got the oxygen mask on. He walks by, gives her a hug and a smooch, walks by, goes
Oh, he
to her
farts
main
in her
machine,
thing,
and he
huh?
farts in the machine, and just hear her
Terrible.
just a couple seconds later just dying. Like, oh my god,
That's so
you
terrible.
killed me.
Yeah.
Anyway, stoner trivia. Great transition, guys, right?
Our segue skills are like no other.
Smoking like a Rasta, feeling so high. We talk about cannabis and getting fly. Are you smarter than a stoner? Let's find out. Listen up,
B, the
my
plant's
friends.
flavor
I
and
got
aroma
something to
compounds.
shout.
C,
Cannabis
the plant's
knowledge,
fibers.
let it flow through your mind. Getting blazed, smoking loud, we all unwind. Trivia questions, can you keep up the pace? Let's see if you're sharper in this smoky haze.
There.
And we are
All right.
back.
Intrusive thoughts.
Yep, we did it again, folks.
Alrighty. So, welcome back. We are going to jump into some stoner trivia now.
All right. I'm getting
Maybe.
it. I'm getting it. Hang on.
We did do new sticky notes.
I know, they're so nice.
We're organized with
Except for
sticky
back
notes.
here.
We had like a whole. I looked underneath the table. There was just so many.
Number 1. What is one key difference in nutrient delivery between cocoa coir and traditional soil when cultivating cannabis?
Ooh.
Oh, is this the one? Cocoa starts on fire.
Aside from that.
Interesting.
Aside from that,
Yeah.
What about
Hey.
the clay pebbles?
I
A.
don't know if they
Cocoa
start on
coir
fire.
retains nutrients for long periods, reducing the need for frequent feeding. B. Soil is inert and requires external nutrient supplements, while cocoa coir naturally contains all essential nutrients. C. It provides excellent
Cation.
cation exchange capacity, but requires more precise nutrient management than soil. I thought I was missing a piece of the word. Or D.
Daniel.
Soil absorbs nutrients more rapidly than cocoa coir, leading to faster growth. Cation is a positive.
Oh, go ahead.
A positively charged ion.
One that would be attracted to the cathode in electrolysis.
I don't know.
Booby hour. I'm gonna go see.
I don't know. I think that's what I think too.
You know, back here, 'cause she did give it.
I didn't do you guys sticky notes.
No.
Oh,
No sticky notes for us.
But I'm
Yeah.
going with
See.
C.
I tried today, guys.
Dalton's got D. We got C out there in the chat.
I have no idea what I'm talking
That was
about.
okay.
Brooke out there looks like she's got some huckleberry ice something she's smoking on.
This
Oh,
one's
yeah,
a
I saw
tough
that. That
question
sounds
if you
good.
don't know anything about cannabis.
The answer is
Anyway.
C.
All right.
Nice.
I think that one you could guess just based on that
Fancy.
the other ones were not really.
But just so you all
They
do
didn't have a
know,
fancy word. in
Coca
them.
Cola does catch fire because I've tried to do it twice.
So Coca Cola and Sphagnum peat moss will both catch fire. You should probably not put an incense in one of the former buckets that you used if you're using any of those mediums because it does catch on fire.
Sorry.
Damn.
Don't be sorry. Good PSA right out
Yeah,
there.
that's some great
For
PSA.
gardeners out there.
I'm gonna make sure I put that on every policy.
Yes. Do not put
Do not
incense
use-
in your grow plants.
And make sure that's written.
Make sure that's
we're getting our industry in trouble. Shut up, guys. I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
Number 2. Why is oxygen availability more critical in hydroponic systems than in soil-based cultivation? A. Soil cultivation naturally aerates roots through microbial activity, while hydroponics rely on artificial oxygenation to prevent root suffocation. B. Soil cultivation lacks proper drainage, leading to stagnant water around roots, unlike hydroponics. C. Hydroponic systems prevent nutrient lockout, which depends on oxygen availability in water. Or D. Soil does not require oxygen since roots rely solely on water for respiration.
I'm guessing, but I'm going to say B. You know?
Hmm.
I'm gonna say B.
I'm gonna guess A, but I wouldn't have known that if it turns out to be true.
A.
I'm gonna guess that we're
Hannah?
aerating our roots through microbial toots.
Where's
Through microbial tooth. That was cute. That was a nice
Calvin?
one.
He normally has all the answers to all this stuff.
I'm gonna go with A too, because I mean, why oxygen availability is more critical in a hydroponic system. You're not getting oxygen in there because I mean, the
If it's-
oxygen's in the water. I guess,
Well,
but
is-
don't you need the aeration?
It is A.
It is.
correct
So the answer is A.
oh,
So yeah, to answer that real quick, there's a couple of ways you can do it. You can do it through air stones. The other way is like through some like flood and drain tables. It's a little more important for you to have your air stones so your water don't get stagnant. But like some tables that have tubes that have water return back to reservoir, just the water that splashes back in that and that bubbling creates the aeration in and of itself. It also creates precipitation. That's why your minerals and your EC will start to drop in an open air system.
There. So I mean, kind of in like a fish tank in that sense, like in the dumping of the.
That's exactly
aeration.
right.
Yeah.
Cool.
No.
Number 3. How does soil as a growing medium influence the microbial environment of cannabis plants compared to hydroponics? A. Soil lacks microbial diversity, while hydroponics encourage a wide range of beneficial bacteria. B. Soil naturally supports a rich microbial ecosystem, which aids in nutrient cycling, while hydroponics often requires artificial supplementation with beneficial microbes. C. Soil microbes hinder nutrient uptake, while hydroponics eliminate microbial activity entirely. Or D. Soil encourages anaerobic microbes, while hydroponics only support aerobic bacteria.
I've got my guess. It's different than the crew.
Yeah, all right. I went with A and D.
B and D.
Oh, B and D. Sorry. B and D. Thank you, Hannah.
Were you looking at the A?
So I'm gonna go with D.
Yeah, I think D. I think B is a bit of a trick because you artificial supplementation with beneficial nutrients. I don't know if you want to add microbes to a hydro system. I guess I'll find out.
Yeah, I was gonna say Tanaki's really
Testing our soil versus hydro this week.
Yes, because someone is getting a hydro system.
Yeah,
and I thought it'd
that's
be
true.
fun
It is very relevant.
to see what you've known yet.
Nothing.
The correct answer is
just
B.
call him Jon Snow.
It is
B.
B.
Bravo.
B.
Bravo.
B is in Bravo. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. You can. I've heard. I have read a little bit about it, and I've heard some mixed opinions on whether you should supplement with beneficial microbes in a hydro system.
I guess
Some
that was our last one.
some people say that it'll clog up the pipes, and some people. Tanaki looks like that's not the last one. Let me make sure that we didn't mess anything up here.
There should have been 4.
I thought that was 4.
That was number 4, wasn't it?
No, that was only number 3.
That was 3.
Hmm.
Oh, that's strange. Okay,
Well,
but it says we had 5 slides.
The first one is
That one.
Oh, I wonder. Wait, is it?
what
It's a
incarnation?
different question.
It's a
just the
different
same.
number 1.
It's a different
Yeah,
number.
all right.
Okay, all right.
Number 1,
all right.
take 2.
Number 1,
Surprise.
2.
So it should be number 4. What does the buffering capacity of soil differ? Or how does the buffering capacity of soil differ?
That is
That
a
of
different
cocoa,
question
that is
than
a
we have,
different
ma'am.
this is not number 4, Tanaki. This is not number.
I mean, this is still a good question. Do you know the answer to it?
The one I was just reading.
The one that's on the board.
Yeah, I
Folks,
have
this
that
is
one.
demonstrating that we are getting smarter, but we are definitely stoners.
We may or may not make these stones.
I found the correct question now. Excuse me. What is a major factor influencing the cannabinoid profile of cannabis plants grown in soil compared to hydroponics? A. Plants grown in soil produce fewer cannabinoids due to the lower availability of nutrients. B, hydroponic systems enhance terpene production, while soil-grown plants tend to have a more complex cannabinoid profile due to interactions with the microbial environment. C, soil-grown cannabis contains higher THC levels due to better oxygenation of the roots. Or D, hydroponics reduces the cannabinoid content because of the inconsistent nutrient absorption.
I would go B.
I've got to guess I would agree with Michelle, but if that's true, it gives me some ideas. Why don't we combine? Let's enhance that terpene production and the complex cannabinoids, guys. Come on, let's figure this shit out. Anyway, we'll see if it's even correct.
B.
B. See all the B's.
Yeah. I'm going B.
Did Calvin say B? Is that a recent
I think
B?
that
That's
is
a last
That's the
answer.
B.
Oh, okay. All right.
B.
Oh, okay.
He said B.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you for
fair.
the quick
I'm staying
response.
with B.
That is the correct answer. B is the correct answer.
Cool.
All right.
I wonder if I'm sure that there has been, but I wonder if there's any papers published supporting the terpene enhancement through hydroponics, and if they figured out why. That would be an interesting read. We'll have to look into that.
You know, it
We're
was
gonna have to, like answer those hydroponic people and ask them to come on the show and explain it to us.
Yeah.
There you go.
back in the day. It was always, you know, sort of one of those situations where hydroponics, and it surprises me that they claim that it gives a higher terpene profile, but soil grown gives a more complex cannabis profile, or CBD profile, excuse me. It used to be the fact that everybody was like, well, that's hydroponically grown, didn't really have much flavor to it or anything else like that. It was like a hydroponically grown tomato. You know, they just really water, they don't have much flavor to them. And so how much does the terpene profile really increase, and is it flavorful terpenes?
Right.
You know, and I feel like that might depend a little bit on what kind of nutrients you give it as well.
Definitely, yeah. I think if you're giving it the fish stuff that Daniel's got over there, it might get a little bit of stank to it.
Right. Well, I mean, if you're feeding with seaweed and bone meal and stuff like that, you're going to get a way different complex profile than if you're feeding with straight minerals, in my opinion. Maybe I wonder what the industry thinks about that. Are minerals a more true representation of those terpene profiles, or are organics a better representation?
You know, here's what I propose maybe we do is we get a hold of some hydroponic growers, get a hold of some people that are growing regular soil style, and then somebody who's growing cocoa core style, and maybe do some blind taste tests, try to get a event to where we could do like the Pepsi challenge and see who can tell what's what.
Ooh, that would be really fun. We have those ganjiers in the industry too. I wonder if they'd be willing to participate.
Test your might.
Yeah, absolutely. No one's expecting perfection from anyone, but it would be a fun opportunity for everyone.
Yeah, I feel like the most difficult thing in that would be convincing everyone to grow the same strain.
Yeah, true.
You'd have to have a lot of control too, so it'd have to be in the same building.
I don't necessarily think that, since you're doing all the different cultivation styles. I think necessarily.
I mean, to like
the-
keep like the atmosphere the exact same, so that way you can get really is more the most controlled.
I see what you're saying on that. My thought was just like, I mean, can you really tell whether or not, I mean, somebody is growing hydroponically versus can you tell whether they're growing in soil or peat moss or cocoa core, or they're growing aeroponically versus hydroponically?
That's why I think doing the same strain would be beneficial. So that way you're not doing like
doing
four
the same
different
clone or
strains.
cuts.
Yeah, you could do the same clone and you're going to have the same genetic potential. And yeah, you might have some variance in the environment, but I could give you a good baseline. Or, you know, some people might even be willing to do a couple. One pot of cocoa core, one pot of soil, one pot of whatever.
Absolutely. Trying different types. We have the ability, those little blue pot thingies, like water things. We tried aeroponics and hydroponics several different times. It will allow you to do a large amount of plants in a short amount of space.
Right.
If you're wanting the stretch. But if I was ever doing water again, I would have 4-foot walls with drains every 3 feet.
Hydroponics.
Because it will always fuck up and drain somewhere it's not supposed to.
Eventually.
The hose will break,
Yeah.
the tub will break, this will break, and then there's water. There's no way I would ever do it if I didn't have it growing in a swimming pool at this point. Like I would never do it again.
Well, and I think Calvin brings up a pretty good point out there in the chat. Science says that plants do not know the difference between an organic molecule and a salt molecule.
Makes sense. Nitrogen is nitrogen.
Sure, yeah.
That's fair. Yeah. It's just as
Absolutely.
humans that are sensitive, I guess.
Well, and it's I think how we classify it as well. I mean, so obviously we classify salt nutrients as a little bit different than organic nutrients, but salt would be an organic substance itself. So
Totally,
Yeah.
totally.
Yes.
That's why I always say it's hard. You don't want to say organics versus salts because just as you said, salts can be. I just say it for the debate. Calvin's poking the bear. I love it. Yeah, I don't know. I try to steer clear of saying organic versus salts because of, just as you said, not a lot of people know this, but salts can be organic, and in fact, Advanced Nutrients is a OMRI certified salt line. So there's an example for you right there.
hit
That
that
was an abrupt
hit that
stop.
salt, Nick.
Well, it just, I mean, even think of us as humans. Like, okay, so water follows salt,
Mhm.
salt follows potassium,
Mm.
and potassium is used in every muscle conduction you use in your body.
Mhm.
You blink your eyes, potassium's used. You pump your heart, potassium's used. Every single thing that our body uses potassium. So that's why when people get muscle cramps, they usually tell you to eat a banana
Mhm.
because it's high in potassium.
Mm.
So there you go.
So when I get high and my eyes get really squinty, do I need potassium?
No, you need less wheat.
Mm.
No, I think
No.
more
More
bananas.
potassium.
More bananas.
More
maybe a couple
bananas,
eye
more
drops.
weed,
Extra
Oh,
banana
eye
pipe,
drops.
maybe.
A
banana
little bit of
pipe.
Visine,
Daniel.
banana pie.
Pipe.
Oh, dude.
Banana pipe.
We're having banana pie.
Banana
Thanksgiving,
pie.
by the way. That's on the
Already
list.
Thanksgiving.
Ooh, is everyone looking forward to Thanksgiving this year? Do you have any plans this year?
Me?
Yeah, Dalton?
We're going. We have some family property up north by Fort Peck, so I think we're all gonna go up there and
Oh, awesome.
enjoy some time away from civilization for a few days.
Good.
I
That
know
sounds awesome.
I'm always expected to cook, so I'm gonna be there regardless.
So do the traditional Thanksgiving dinner or just cook whatever?
It's kind of different every year. We tried turduckins for a few years, but we usually get a couple turkey tags and somebody gets a turkey and we'll fry it up there. So
Nice.
Mm.
which
That's really
can't be a fresh
Wild fried. turkey.
wild fried turkey.
Man,
Damn.
I'm jealous. We're gonna fry one as well.
Mhm.
Nice.
I've fried one every year, but it's not gonna be wild. It's gonna be store bought.
Hey,
Yeah.
So
hey, food's food on Thanksgiving.
I think we wouldn't be hard pressed to find a wild turkey out on our land.
indeed.
I've seen turkeys.
I wanted wild turkeys, but the neighbor's scared of wild birds. Period. Like she shoots sparrows, dude. Like she's.
We have wild turkeys out here.
We
I've
do.
seen them on our property.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
they're
yeah.
across
I
the
wanna,
street all the
I want
time.
to have like 40 or 50 of them, but I don't want any care. I just want to let them go. But I know that
Let 'em
she'd
be free.
If
she'd
you're
shoot
brave
'em,
enough,
so.
there's some down by MSU.
Yes, there are still.
Oh
They've been
my
down there for
God.
years.
I think you just
Dude.
have to drive fast. Just reach your hand out and grab one.
You just door 'em
You don't
real
even have to
quick.
drive fast. They just waddle their way down Fifth on Rimrock.
Yep,
Oh
right on
my
Fifth and Rimrock,
gosh.
taking their sweet old time.
There has
Couple
been
of
times
those-
I've been like half hour late to work.
Yeah, that's like the
From sitting
HOA
there.
managing it.
Couple of those dang birds, I swear, they're about as big as a golf cart.
Oh, yeah.
jeez. How old are they
Maybe,
these days?
you know, 10, 15
Age.
years, you know.
Yep.
I wonder how they would.
That's gonna be some
Generations.
grizzly turkey.
I was gonna say, I bet they probably don't taste that good.
All they do is waddle around the neighborhood, get fed.
Yeah.
Get all the leftovers.
Yeah. Maybe
There's a
one or
reason
two
you
gets
want
eaten.
your chickens and your turkeys and stuff under a year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That way your meat's not all tough and stringy.
Yummy.
Well, I'll tell you what, might be a good time to segue into some news here, huh?
Heck yeah.
Ready and news with me.
Cannabis updates fresh and real. Tune in with Nate, it's the big deal. Cannabis news with Nate, let's go. Every story makes you glow. Stay informed, don't be late. Cannabis news with Nate.
All right, we're back, and we're going to make this quickly. We've got the news for Friday, November 22nd, 2024. So real quickly, marijuana vape cart company slams Instagram and Meta for blocking cannabis-related social media content. One of the things that we have a problem with in the cannabis world, and probably the insurance cannabis world as well, just getting it out there to let people know, hey, we've got this product available. Anytime you put cannabis into anything on Facebook, anytime you put it on Instagram, not so much Instagram, but Facebook a lot more, and even Google ads, they'll instantly take your ad down. They'll instantly take it away. Yeah. You try to be state compliant. You try to, keep with the laws and everything else like that. I think it's time for these social media platforms to get with the times and get off the stick.
Absolutely. It's been ridiculous. Even just seeing a percentage off in a picture or anything like that, or just
especially when home growers are so blatant, posting so much on socials, and it's totally fine, but a business does anything and it's a big deal. It's so strange to me.
Absolutely.
It's a weird double standard.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's good to see that there's at least one person out there. Looks like Pax Labs, they're basically going after Meta. They had posted some stuff. Meta came in faster than a Montana snowstorm and shut them down with all kinds of cooling capabilities. And so they said, the hell with this. They're one of the bigger cart companies in the country and stuff. And they've got quite a few brands behind them. And they're like, you know what, we're gonna challenge you. We're gonna call you out. We're gonna take you out into every place in the public square and show everybody that you're up to the typical censorship crap that you should stop here in America.
Absolutely.
So marijuana and cognitive decline. A new study reveals that marijuana has no significant harmful effects on age-related cognitive decline. Turns out grandma's special brownies might not be that bad for her after all, and they will not cause Alzheimer's. So this study was done, and it was published in the Frontiers in Aging Neuroscience, found that marijuana does not have significant harmful effects on age-related cognitive decline. So basically, got a real good scientific version of "I told you so."
Yep.
My
About
pot's
time.
good to go.
Yay.
So yeah, I think one of the things they were actually able to see is that typically what happens is sometimes some of the synapses will have some like stripping of the protective barrier or coat to it that causes some cognitive decline and stuff. And cannabis may actually be helping to restore some of that. And so
myelin layers and all that.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be interesting to see how much this science comes out and how much of the bunk science is going to go by the way of COVID.
Yep.
Progress, baby. You can't stop
baby.
it. We love research and we love science.
Mm-hmm.
So in a big move, the FDA approves clinical trials for PTSD treatment in veterans for cannabis. So the FDA has approved long-awaited clinical trials of smoked marijuana to treat PTSD in our veterans.
Oh, so we're finally going to figure out if that works or not.
Right. Yeah. I mean, we're going to get another scientific version of "I told you so." Like,
okay, boy, that's exciting.
I wonder who's paying for that.
I mean, it's
a great question, Michelle.
Who is paying for it? I mean, it's the FDA who's paying for it. So that's going to be the taxpayers who are going to be paying for that. That's going to be you and I, to basically come up with the same conclusion that we've already come up with from thousands and thousands and thousands of veterans with all of their stories across the, not only the United States, but across the world, who have explained how cannabis has helped them with their PTSD, how it has helped them with a lot of the stuff that they've had to deal with, chronic pain, dealing with Crohn's disease, all kinds of things that, people are dealing with. And it seems like the only people who really aren't on board with the actual science behind this are the people who are claiming to be scientists.
Yeah, that's a really sad state of affairs when we have medicine explicitly written into law, protected, while the FDA is not willing to pursue research and approve it. Anyway, just some food for thought.
I agree. And we got to give a shout out to the Multidisciplinary Association for Psychedelic Studies, MAPS. They're the ones who have actually done an excellent job of pushing this initiative forward, making sure that the veterans out there are actually getting some sort of access to medical cannabis and at least some studies done behind that. It's good to see that they're out there getting it done. They're also looking at psychedelic mushrooms and a few other things that'll be helping. So yeah, I'm happy to see all this natural medicine flowing back into our pharmaceutical systems.
I'm so excited to hear that, genuinely, just for our veterans, just the couples, well, not the couple, the tons that we have come through our shop, even just for CBD, because their VA doctor will literally stop any treatment at all if they pop positive.
Yeah.
Like, that's ridiculous. And then you get some that their VA doc actually recommends.
I was
it,
just going to say that. I've had the same.
Find this doctor. I need to get their name because you need to go there.
Well, even in my personal experience, when when I was on like a pain management program or when I was really sick, I remember they said, we're going to do a drug test on you before we can prescribe these. And it was for like 15 days worth of like 5 milligram oxycodones. But they saw that I had THC in it. And it was like a month fight back and forth, being like, do you guys see how sick I am? And do you guys not realize that like I have control over, what I can treat myself with?
Meanwhile, you can roll right out in the street and grab, 500 milligrams of fentanyl real quick if you wanted
exactly. But if I didn't smoke, if I didn't test positive for THC, I would have been able just to get it like candy.
Yep.
And it's so just backwards.
Yeah,
so
I agree
backwards.
100%.
They want to force you into that drug habit, so you keep coming back.
Well, and like
That's a
I'll
hot
always
take.
tell you, medicine is practicing. They are practicing medicine. They don't know it. They're trying. They're still
They
trying to
call a
figure it out.
practice.
Why they still have the evolution of medicine. Well, the good thing about it is people out there in Kentucky, the long wait for medical marijuana is coming to an end. In December, doctors are going to be able to start prescribing medical cannabis out there in Kentucky. There's about 150 doctors who have already been approved. So the state of Kentucky said they're actually working on streamlining the process for patients so that it makes it easier for them to sign up. Also streamlining the process for doctors to get them certified so that it makes it a little bit easier a rollout. It seems like they're pushing to really get a system in place that works for everybody rather than trying to get a system that's fighting. So, I mean, obviously
That's
with
awesome.
every
That's
single
cool.
state adopting some sort of cannabis law, I mean, Congress is going to be just derelict if they don't do something this session to get it done.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they're gonna do it anyway.
I was just saying, you say they're derelict to duty, and
How
I
many
say
times have
that's
we
where
said
they'll
They've
that
end
been
up.
about other
derelict in
stuff?
duty for
Yeah.
years.
Well, I mean, in Montana, that's the case. It took the citizens to bring forward an initiative after asking over and over and over again for medical cannabis. Then the citizens approved it. Then they turned around and they tried to shut it down, tried to rebook it, tried to revoke it. The citizens had to do several other initiatives to bring it back. Finally, we did the legalization initiative. So it's taken the citizens to actually push their government into what really they need to have happen. And I see that throughout most of the states. They've had to do these by initiative. It hasn't been the legislators who have had the courage to enact these laws.
No, I totally agree on that one. That's been one fight after another just to keep it here in Montana.
Yeah.
Well, I think with that, that's pretty much the news that I have. Guess we got to thank our guest Dalton for coming out here and
thank
joining
you
us.
guys.
All the great insurance information. Love to have you back again. Appreciate you letting us know what was going on with the MTCIA. Want to give a quick selfless plug out there, let everybody know about you, where you're at, where you're from.
Yes. So like I said, my name is Dalton. I'm with the Ascheman Agency. So we are a local cannabis insurance agency. Actually just right down the road, kind of from where we're at right now, up in the Heights and Billings. I offer all sorts of coverages from product liability, general liability, your property, work comp, autos, finished stock in process, the crop. I mean, anything that you can kind of think of what you need covered, just ask me, and we can try to find something. But I really appreciate you having me on the show, and also appreciate you just being a great customer as well. And just I hope that I can see. I hope I can see your business and along with everybody else's kind of grow through this and make Montana kind of the best place for cannabis.
Awesome, man. Well, we greatly appreciate you. From all of us here at the Budcast, we greatly appreciate everybody out there for tuning in, and we will catch you next week. Have a great Thanksgiving, and go Grizzlies!
Go Cats. Come on. Have a good night, everybody.
Stay lifted.